Which of those four is it when you talk to him about murdering Tupac?
It was really about both of them, either one. It was
Tupac and Suge, you mean?
Yeah,
Maybe I said it about both because he got Tupac killed.
In case you missed it, the news wrote, former LAPD cop claims Diddy had Tupac dealt with for $1 million. Suge retaliated having Biggie dealt with. As Diddy hired Keefe D to get Tupac, then after 15 years of walking free when the police finally arrested Keefe D, he did an interrogation. He didn't know he was being recorded when confessing Diddy was the lead man of the crime.
On all four of those occasions, there's San Diego, Anaheim, Irvine, and Vegas. Which ones do you actually talk to Puffy at?
every one.
Every one of them. Which of those four is it when you talk to him about murdering Tupac?
It was really about both of them, either one. It was
Tupac and Suge, you mean?
Yeah.
As during the Diddy trial, he was questioned on his involvement. The news wrote, Diddy faces questions about his alleged role in Tupac's murder after being mentioned 77 times in a new legal filing. As Keefe D, the hired hitman of the crime, said everything was Diddy's wish. He even explained it happened so fast because Tupac started reaching for his firearm when he passed away.
You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat, and you said that Tupac pulled out a...
It looked like he was reaching, yeah. Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you actually...
No, once he got the reaching, I got the ducking.
So someone from your car
That's what happened.
started at Tupac and Suge.
As Tupac already knew something was about to go down, the courtroom began to get emotional, knowing Tupac already knew what was about to happen to him. This would hit news headlines fast. Even 50 Cent reacted, as it states, 50 Cent says he doesn't like Diddy because he had Tupac gone.
I hate when they leave me to talk because I always say the wrong thing. I was saying, last time they left me, I said something about Puffy. So that clip. Yeah! I gotta stop doing that kind of shit. I've been talking to a therapist trying to help me with what I'm saying. I said crazy shit. No reason. Oh wait, maybe I said it about Puffy because he got Tupac killed.
This would then be followed up with times people confronted Diddy about being responsible for Tupac, such as this awkward breakfast clip interview.
Now, it was this documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even gonna go there, with all due respect, but I appreciate you as a journalist asking. Thank you.
Because listen, 7 years ago, I'd have been like, yo, did you hire somebody? But no, you do it like a journalist.
Yeah, no, I mean, we wouldn't even get into nonsense like that. You know what I'm saying? It's nonsense.
Which we never believed, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
But what's even scarier is investigators believe Diddy didn't act alone. In case you missed it, the news wrote, new updates are happening in Tupac Shakur's murder case. Rappers in the industry from Snoop Dogg, Suge Knight, and Diddy are about to be arrested and questioned. It begins with this interview making the feds wonder Snoop's involvement.
You were with Tupac, though, in regards to Tupac. I heard a story, did you give him different advice that night on where to go?
I didn't give him no advice.
Right.
We wasn't seeing eye to eye.
Right.
So.
Saying during the Tyson.
Yeah, this incident that I'm explaining to you right now was the day before that.
Okay.
So when they got to Vegas, they went their way, I went back. I mean, when we got to LA, they went to Vegas and I went home. That's why I wasn't in the car with them.
As Snoop mentions, he was supposed to be in the BMW, but after last-minute changes, he didn't go. This was likely due to Snoop, Tupac, and Suge having an altercation a few days prior.
The last time me and Tupac was on the same page, and I did an interview with Angie Martinez, and she asked me how did I feel about Puffy and Biggie, and I told her that I like their music and I want to do music with them. Bro didn't like that, Tupac didn't like that, so we had a misunderstanding. So on the flight back to LA, I didn't feel comfortable around them for what they had did, as far as I didn't let my security ride with me. So to protect myself and to prevent from happening, I slept under a blanket with the knife and the fork just in case something was to go wrong, but it didn't.
With this all happening within 72 hours of Tupac's murder, the police are suspicious. 2 decades ago, Snoop Dogg was heavily tapped into the streets. Many speculate Snoop could have received a tip that Tupac was going to be targeted on that night, so he avoided going in the car. The feds then found another interview where Snoop claims 2 days before Tupac died, he felt Tupac hated him.
I say a week before he died, we was best of friends. 2 days before he died, I don't think he liked me.
Why?
Because we was in New York, and it happened. New York, they shot at me and did all kind of shit to me, like just the worst you could think of, and I forgave him. And when did an interview and was asked, how do I feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I was like, I like I want to do some music with him. And that just rubbed Cuz the wrong way, like tried to me out at you, and you talking about you want to do a song with him. I wasn't thinking about his emotions. I was thinking about the way I felt at the time. I wasn't into no controversy. I liked his music. They was our friends. We was all friends at one point. There's video footage of all of us hanging out.
However, the physical evidence in the Diddy trial gave the courtroom chills, as Keefe D explained how Tupac was taken out by Diddy's wish. Because on September 7th, 1996, Tupac was with Suge Knight in Vegas. They went to watch a Mike Tyson match, and once it was over, they got into a brawl with their ops in the lobby.
Suge Knight and their entourage went to the Mike Tyson at the MGM Grand. Keefe D and his nephew, Orlando Lane Anderson, and two of their friends were also there. Keefe D told LAPD Detective Greg Kading more than a decade ago, in a proffer that couldn't be used against him, the shooting was retaliation after Tupac jumped Orlando and beat him up at the casino. Surveillance cameras recorded the fight. Tupac was angry that Lane had stolen his necklace years prior in Compton. Tupac, Suge Knight, and the entourage left the casino quickly.
Once security broke up the brawl, Tupac and Suge went to their hotel to change for the night, as they began heading out to a club to party it up when they were caught in the middle of the street.
Knew about Tupac's concert at the Club 662. Members, including Orlando and Keefe D, jumped in their white Cadillac and started cruising the strip looking for the offender. Before long, they finally spotted Tupac's caravan. At the intersection of East Flamingo Boulevard and Koval Lane, the white Cadillac pulled alongside the black BMW with Suge on the driver and Tupac on the passenger seats. The back window of the Cadillac rolled twice in the chest, once in the arm, once in the thigh.
But with the feds trying to find who was responsible for 2 decades, the police investigated a Keefe D interview which incriminates him, as he describes pulling up on Tupac.
And Bubble Up was the driver, and Baby Lane and Freaky were in the back seat.
We was just all in the car together. Just say that.
This was the white Cadillac.
Yeah.
So you guys are driving around, and then you hear these girls say, Tupac, Tupac.
Got to the light. He was gonna go drink, and he happened to be hanging out the window. He was hanging out the window like he was in a parade.
Tupac.
Yeah, he was.
So what happens next? You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat.
A Keefe D interrogation with police from the night of the crime was also leaked.
Lane starts. You say Suge looks over, he sees you. He looks right at you.
Yeah, he looks at me.
Okay. When he looks over at you, and then Tupac's busy getting. Evidently, the story is Tupac's trying to either get out
in the back seat or something.
Yeah. What do you see happening inside of their car?
I seen him going Suge head. I thought he was.
So Orlando across Dre.
He leaned over on the window. We rolled down the window.
During the police's investigation, they found Keefe D's reaction to Tupac's passing.
Yeah, I hate that happened, dog. I really do, man. Because it took a lot of people's lives, dude. I hate that happen. Probably to God. I feel that was wrong, man. It was just wrong, purely wrong. You know what I'm saying? I wish it had never happened. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion on it. Wish it never happened, dude.
However, this is where it gets weird, because holes in the story make many wonder if Tupac is alive. As a recent interview from an officer revealed, Tupac was an industry plant, and his job was to stop the red and blue street teams.
Well, it turns out when I talked to Tupac's longtime mentor, political mentor, former Black Panther Chokwe Lumumba, who was his first business manager, he's told me, I basically asked, well, was Tupac only pretending to be in order to appeal to gangs and politicize them? And he said yes. And that was part of his thug life agenda they came up with his imprisoned stepfather, Matulu Shakur. And so Tupac was just using that in order to get the leaders to call peace truces, first in Los Angeles, then throughout California, and then throughout the country. And that was why he was pretending to be this gangster type. And really, he was just an intellectual prodigy.
With the plan not working, he suddenly passed, but it makes sense as to why Snoop Dogg didn't want to be near him in Las Vegas on that night. Because if he heard that Tupac was an industry plant, then he would have wanted to distance himself from him. But another interview from a close friend of Tupac revealed something crazy, because rapper Tretch got caught saying that Tupac was down in Cuba.
So if you ain't ready for it, get on the sidewalk.
One last question.
Nobody knows. Y'all good?
Yeah, we good. Thanks a lot, man.
We good.
Then just 3 weeks later, a video was released and showed Tupac chilling in a parking lot in Cuba.
Look, zoom in. That's Pac, man. He with the outlaws. And Reg from Holla Back is trying to be friendly and get autographs. Holla Back exclusive, baby. Holla Back.
This created the Tupac is alive in Cuba theory, but many people don't think it's just a theory anymore. Even Suge Knight agrees that Tupac is alive and well. He stated it multiple times over the years that Tupac is alive, because Suge states, and I quote, "I mean, when I left that hospital, me and Pac was laughing and joking, so I don't see how somebody can turn from doing well to doing bad."
I mean, when I left that hospital, me and Pac was laughing and joking, so I don't see how somebody can turn from doing well to doing bad.
So you seriously think that he might still be alive?
I'm gonna tell you this, Pac, you never know.
But the only thing not adding up about Suge's story is that Tupac was reportedly in a coma when he was at the hospital. So how could they have been laughing and joking if Tupac was unconscious? But even the way back in a 2008 interview, Suge Knight is positive that he was alive, conscious, and doing well.
So he was conscious on the way to the hospital?
He was conscious on the way to the hospital. He was conscious in the ambulance. He was conscious after they did the surgery.
What was the last thing that he said to you?
They left.
And the weirdest thing is that once Suge said this about Tupac being alive, he was almost taken out a couple of weeks later, as a man used a firearm in his direction multiple times. Although Knight made sure to keep his silence ever since because he knows it'll put himself in danger. But Suge's son, Suge Jr., would make the same mistake. In 2018, Suge Knight's son took to Instagram to state that Tupac was still alive and living in Malaysia. Shortly after posting that, he posted another photo with a conversation of someone saying, "You said too much, time for you to go." But Suge Jr. would keep posting, as he posted multiple pictures of Tupac with modern-day celebrities like 50 Cent and Beyonce, as Suge made it seem like someone was after him. And with him captioning the Beyonce picture, "He never left us, but they'll be after me soon." While some believe this was all a publicity stunt for Suge Knight's son to gain clout, others believe that it was all factual, and that Suge Jr. would know more about this case than anyone else in the world, considering his father was right there on the scene.